this is the perfect approach for when you're just getting started. Is really best for the early stages in your business.
This approach will help trust with the prospect and increase the chances of them purchasing your service. On top of that, it won't cost you anything. So for me, I think is an absolute no-brainer no matter where you're at in business. Look, guys, I still don't really understand how this is a bonus tip. This right here is huge.
Okay, let's dive right into it, guys. So first off, thanks everyone for joining tonight. This is our first virtual event here at Evolve Digital. So we're super excited and we're going to provide a massive amount of value tonight just as a thank you for joining. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. First and foremost, we'll just go over a quick agenda for today. So quick introduction. My name is Michael Pisco. I'm the founder and CEO of Evolve Digital. And I'm joined today by my partner and the head coach at Evolve Digital, Miguel Fonseca.
Nope.
So before we actually dive into the strategies, we're going to do a quick preface just to some background info just to make sure you guys get the most out of the strategies we go over. But after that, we'll jump right into the strategies. We have about 6 or 7 that we're going to be going over. And then we'll have some bonus tips to help you guys out too. And we're going to finish up with a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions while we're going through the presentation, just save them for the end. You can send them in the chat or just write it down. But we'll get to it in the Q&A. But let's get right into it. So like I said, just to preface, there is no secret formula. So the strategies we're going over, some of these strategies are probably things you've heard of. Some won't be. They might be something you've never heard of. But some of it is basic stuff that you've heard of and you're just not doing, whether it's because it sounds boring or it's not a sexy strategy. It's not it's the boring stuff that you don't think you need to be doing. But in reality, that's what you should be doing in the early stages. And if you do it consistently, you don't give up and you do it for a long time, that's where you'll see success. So some of the strategies, like I said, basic stuff, but you got to stick to the basics in order to get to where you're trying to go. So number 2, also don't get shiny object syndrome. So we're going over multiple strategies. Like I said, I think 7 strategies. So I don't expect you guys to implement all of them overnight. Start off with 2 or 3, implement them, try to become, as great as those strategies as you can and try to progress with them. And then once you're, having a good understanding of them and getting good results with it, then implement one more, do the same thing, get good at it, implement another thing. If you go all in on all the strategies right off the bat, then you're not going to get anywhere and you're not going to get great at any of them. Do not get shiny object syndrome and just keep that in mind as we're going on. And lastly, one more thing I want to mention, a quick story before we actually dive into the strategies. And I know it sounds corny, but I think this is finding you guys at the right time. So there's this guy, he's walking down the street and he falls in a hole and he's stuck. A few minutes goes by and a doctor walks by. He screams out for help and the doctor writes him a prescription, throws it down there, and the guy's still stuck. A few minutes later, a priest walks by. The guy screams out for help and the priest does a prayer for him and continues on his day, and the guy is still stuck in the hole. And a few minutes later, his friend walks by. He screams out for help and his friend jumps in the hole with him. And the guy says, "Are you stupid? Now we're both stuck down here." And his friend says, "Yeah, but I've been down here before and I know the way out." So the reason I share this with you guys is because we've been in the hole before. We've been stuck, no idea how to market, no money for marketing and just completely lost. And we got out of that hole. So our goal for today is to help you guys get out of the hole so you can actually grow your business and succeed. So that's what we want to do today. But without further ado, let's get right into these strategies. So like I said, some of these are, the boring stuff like friends and family, door knocking. These are things you guys are familiar with, but just either aren't doing enough of. Maybe you're not leveraging it properly. You don't have the right strategy, but these are stuff that in the early stages, when you're not getting as many jobs as you want to be, you need to be leveraging these to the max. So we're also going in chronological order. So we're starting off with things that should be doing at the very beginning stages. Some of you might be past number 1 and 2. You might be further along in your business, but we'll get to the strategies that are right for you in a little bit. We're starting off with friends and family. So friends and family is really best for the early stages in your business. When you're just getting started, you don't have too much experience. It's harder to get customers at that point because you don't know what you don't know. So by connecting with friends and family, you can get tons of job, reach out to everyone. And I mean, everyone. A lot of people will reach out to a handful of people, do like 1 or 2 jobs for some friends and 1 or 2 jobs for family. And they don't reach out to everyone. because maybe, you're embarrassed to be asking for work or something like that. But the reality of it is they need their house washed. So if they don't go with you, then they're going to go with some other company that I guarantee does not care about their property as much as you would. So just, go out, talk to everybody you can, and get as many jobs from friends and family as you can. And you can even offer a discount or do it for free. Try to offer it for a discount. If they just can't afford it, then even do it for free, because we're going to leverage these jobs. So you might lose money on the front end, but on the back end, you should be making that money back when we go over how to leverage it in just a second. By the way, you're getting experience here at this stage in the business. So if you screw up, then, they're not going to be too pissed off. They're your friend or family member. They won't be too upset. Whereas if you do it for someone you don't know and you mess up, then they're going to be pissed off. So this is the perfect approach for when you're just getting started. Even if you feel like you're kind of past this stage, like you've already done some jobs for friends and family, you have actual paying customers now, and this would feel like, a step backwards. It really isn't if you didn't leverage it to the max. So take that half a step backwards so you can take 2 or even 3 steps forward. And in terms of leveraging it, that one job you do, even if it's for free, whether it's discounted or for free or just regular price, we're going to leverage it. So if you lose money on the front end, you're going to make that back on the back end when you get referrals out of them. If you have yard signs, ask to leave a yard sign on the front yard. Ask them to refer you to other people. Go to their neighbors, knock on doors, name drop, and get reviews from them, get content. So, if you're doing a free job for them or discounted, plus they're your family member, they're going to leave you an amazing review. So leverage this stage in the business to get a ton of content, a ton of reviews, before and after pictures and videos for your social media or for your Google My Business or any future advertising you do. This is the stage to start getting all that set up. And I know this is, one of the boring things, like the basics where, yeah, everyone knows this, everyone does this already, but I'm sure you can leverage it more if you, reach out to your entire network and you leverage it by getting referrals, getting, reviews, content, and all those other stuff.
Right. And so once you've gotten some experience from working for friends and family, you can get into door knocking. Again, this one's obvious, and you can find a ton of info online, so I won't dive too deep into it. But I need to mention this because if you're in your business full time and you have some days where you're not doing any work or a few hours of work, then you need to be door knocking. Look, if you're not hungry and motivated enough to door knock, then you aren't hungry and motivated enough to build a successful business. It also helps improve your sales skills a ton and works really well to get jobs if you have the right approach. And yes, you're going to get a ton of no's, but you're going to become a beast of a salesperson. And you'll start to get a rhythm where, let's say, maybe every 20 interactions, you'll get one job. So once you realize that you just need 19 no's to get that one yes, you'll be hungry as hell for those no's. All right. You definitely need to have a door knocking script and a general approach you take with each interaction. Otherwise, you'll never really get your pitch down and won't progress much. So I'd recommend doing some research into door knocking and create a script that you could use. But luckily for you guys, after this call, I'll be sending you my door knocking script that I've found the most success with so far that you could use and tweak however you'd like. Now, before you start, you may want to practice the script a bunch of times, maybe even role play with a friend. But once you have it down, actually take action and go out and knock on some doors. Now, after you do jobs for friends and family, you can go out and door knock on the neighbors' houses, show them their neighbor's house they just cleaned up, and even name drop who the neighbor is. This approach will help trust with the prospect and increase the chances of them purchasing your service. So personally, I'd actually recommend the 10-10-20 strategy after every job. And this is where you'll go to the 10 houses to the left, the 10 houses to the right, and the 20 houses across the street from the door you service. Like I said, unless you're out on a job, you should be door knocking all day. All the other strategies that we'll go over can mostly be done after business hours, or what I like to call revenue generating hours. So during the revenue generating hours, you should be out door knocking and generating some revenue. You'll most likely only have to door knock for a few months, assuming you actually put in the necessary work. After a few months, you should have more than enough revenue that you could either hire a sales rep to door knock for you, or you can stop it altogether. Me, I'd recommend outsourcing it instead of stopping it if it's working, right? And on top of that, it won't cost you anything out of pocket since you're going to pay that sales rep a commission on the jobs that they generate. So for me, I think door knocking is an absolute no-brainer, no matter where you're at in business. Cool. And we also have utilizing local Facebook groups. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with local Facebook group strategy, but maybe you may not be doing it to its full potential. So I'd recommend, first off, join as many local community groups through your page, such as yard sale groups, buy and sell groups, township groups, county groups, like any type of community-based groups of towns nearby you, right? So I see a lot of people doing this, but they're only joining like 5, 10, like 20 groups, right? Join as many as possible. Shoot for like 100, even more. Once you're in the groups, you're gonna wanna post about 2 to 3 times per week. Typically on Monday and Fridays are when I noticed that a lot of these groups will allow you to make these type of posts. So we're doing it Monday and Fridays consistently. The post shouldn't always be a direct advertisement. Okay, that's important. And actually, more often than not, there won't be any type of advertising. You should post things to provide value or educate them in something relevant to your service. For example, you can educate them on mold and algae growth and the harm it could cause and how it could be treated. Every so often, you could also post about a way you're giving back to the community, such as offering a discount to veterans, teachers, or any other group in that community. And you could always switch this up each month, right? Get creative with it. You'll get some customers that fall under that group that want that particular discount, but also from other people who are happy to work with you after they see what you're doing for the community, right? And just be super active in these groups. Spend a few minutes each night commenting and being active in the groups. Just get your name out there, right? So in short, don't necessarily want to use these groups to directly advertise your business, but to get your name out there and build brand awareness.
All right. Next up, we have what is my favorite strategy when it comes to free lead gen strategies, and that's social media giveaways. So our goal here is basically to run a giveaway on whatever social media platforms we use. We primarily use Facebook and Instagram. If you use anything else, you're more than welcome to run it there as well. But the goal here is to send it out to everyone. We're doing, the rules are to like your page. So everyone that's entering the giveaway has to like your page, because one, that added social proof creates credibility for people that see your page in the future. But number two, anyone that likes your page is going to see your future posts. So that's a form of remarketing to them. If they like your page, they're going to see all the posts you make in the future. So you can basically remarket to them. Number two, share the post. That way you can get in front of their followers and their friends, and get more eyeballs on your giveaway and more entries. And number three, and this is optional, but we like to include this too, is to tag friends for more entries. Again, just to get more eyeballs on the post and more people to enter the giveaway. But once the giveaway is up and running, and by the way, we're going to, after this call, we're going to send you some resources of that we spoke about today. The giveaway caption is going to be one of them, so you guys can literally take it and use it for yourself. But we're going to send this giveaway out to everyone. So your entire network, your friends, your family, share it on your social media, get as many people to see it and enter as possible, and then actually give away the service. So we do this on a monthly basis. Every month we give something away. So you can change it up. You can do whatever you want, really, whether that's an entire house wash, driveway cleaning, give away whatever you want, but actually give it away. So at the end of it, choose a winner, go out and do the service. And again, leverage the job. You're gonna hear me say this all night, leverage every single job you get. But you're actually gonna give away the service and then get an amazing Google review from them. Ask to leave a yard sign on their yard if you have yard signs. Get referrals from them, knock on the neighbors' doors, even ask them to post about you on Facebook or Nextdoor or wherever else, about the giveaway they just won and the amazing service they got. They would be more than happy to, since you just did their house for free. So leverage that job. And then here's where the magic happens. After the giveaway's done, you chose a winner, it's all said and done. Now we're going to reach out to everyone that participated in the giveaway and offer them a discount because they entered the giveaway. So you're basically going to private message them, say, thank you for entering the giveaway. Unfortunately, you didn't win, but we want to offer you X amount off of a service or some type of offer that you want to do, just because they entered. And you're going to get a whole bunch of people responding that are interested in getting the service done. The reason being, all those people that entered the giveaway, they wanted to win your services, which means they could use your services in the first place. So, Euros, you mind muting whoever that is? Thank you. Everyone that entered the giveaway is someone that wants to win your services, which means there's someone that could use your services in the first place. So if you reach out to them, offer them a discount, you're gonna get a bunch of people that are actually interested in moving forward. So if you get, 100, 200 plus people entering the giveaway, reach out to every single person with an offer, you should easily get, 10, 15, 20 plus jobs from this strategy. Oh, one more thing to mention too, is when you're messaging them, I would create some urgency and scarcity too, to help push people, over the edge and actually moving forward by saying, this offer is for the rest of this month only, or maybe it's for the next 10 people that, book a job or book a service, something like that. But just a quick side note.
Yeah. So another huge one, networking, right? So don't be afraid to connect with other business owners. Networking allows you to learn from other professionals in the industry, such as learning new techniques, getting advice on how to handle challenging situations, and even gaining insights on how to improve your business. So networking can also lead to opportunities for collaboration, such as working with other companies on a project or partnering with other businesses to cross-promote services. For example, a painting company normally needs the exterior surface that they are painting to be as clean as possible so that they're able to get a quality result. Why not reach out to your local painting companies, ask to speak with the owner, and look to build a mutually beneficial relationship? Look, you never know what kind of opportunities may come from doing so. It's also important to have a diverse list of contractors in the case a client or a potential client asks if you know somebody that does ... right? It's a really good look to be the one who has the connections of those who could be of further help. You also want to be able or you're also able to form an agreement with the contractor on a specific percentage or a flat rate for subcontracting the work. Another one is partnering with local businesses in exchange for in-house advertisement. So that's something a lot of businesses neglect. And it's really as simple as go to any type of commercial building around you that gets a lot of foot traffic, speak with the property manager, and offer to provide a service at a discounted price in exchange for the chance to advertise your business in that location. Whether that's a stack of business cards at the front desk, or a flyer on the bulletin board, or anything like that. Another great way to network is actually local events in or around your town. Great way to get your name out there. Simply show up, have conversations, shake hands, because you never know who you could run into. Guys, ultimately, just get your name and business out there.
Cool. Up next, we have a LinkedIn strategy. Again, this is actually a really unique strategy that I actually made a YouTube video on this, so some of you may have seen this. But basically what we're going to do is build relationships with property managers, realtors, or anyone similar, any of your prospects. So the strategy is simple. We're going to use LinkedIn, connect with these people. We're basically going to search for the keywords. So realtor, property manager, anything like that. Before we even get to that point, make sure your profile is completely set up and optimized. So you want to have a profile picture of yourself. It needs to look somewhat professional. Doesn't need to be too professional, but definitely somewhat professional. Have a banner, so it could be a picture of your truck with your branding on it. It could be, your guys out on a job, something that shows what type of services you do, and have the rest of your profile set up. So, have a description, explain what services you guys do, have your website, your contact information, basically make it completely set up. So when someone goes to your profile, they'll know within 5 seconds what you do. You also want to have some posts up before you start connecting with people. So, your post can be, like Miguel said earlier, value-based posts. So in this case, let's say, you're trying to connect with realtors, make a post about how pressure washing a home can increase the value of a home or something along those lines. But value-based content, you can put up some before and after pictures and things like that too every so often as well. But you really want to push out the value here. Have a few posts up before you start connecting with people. But once you're ready to go, first off, just connect with friends and family. People that will connect back with you, connect with as many people as you can, just so that when realtors or anyone else comes across your profile in the future, you already have some credibility just from the people that you're already connected with. So reach out to everyone who that's on LinkedIn, connect with them. And that also comes to play because when you're trying to connect with other people, you need to have some type of connection with them in order to be able to connect with them. So I know it sounds a little confusing. If you don't use LinkedIn, it might sound confusing. So what I'm going to do is actually open up LinkedIn right now and dive into it with you guys. So Miguel, you guys can see my LinkedIn, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Here's my guy, Jason Guyman over there. All right, so first we're going to search a keyword such as realtor, and we're going to narrow it down to people. So as you can see, we have a bunch of results, over 1 million, way too broad. So we're going to narrow it down. We're going to narrow it down to second and third connections. For those of you who don't use LinkedIn, your first connection would be someone you're already connected with. So we don't want them, populating because we're already connected with them. They're just taking up space. So we want second and third connections because those are people that we can connect with. As you can see, it's still a massive amount. So we're going to narrow it down even further. We want to narrow it down to your location. So you can search for specific cities or towns if you want. I believe you can even do counties. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to do my state of New Jersey. And as you can see, it narrows down quite a bit to 35,000 people. And we can narrow it down even further. So at this point, you probably don't need to narrow it down. These are all pretty good candidates. But if you did want to narrow it down even further, then you can just add more keywords such as the title of their position. So just add realtor again, and that'll narrow it down even more. So at this point, there's 17,000 people I can connect with. Not every single person you'll be able to connect with, but a majority of them you can just connect with all of them. Don't send a message to them right off the bat. If we send a message right away, it's going to kind of come off as salesy and too pushy, too straightforward. So first, connect with them, get them to connect back. They're going to see your profile. It looks professional, it looks valuable. They're going to connect with you back. They're going to see your post. They're going to slowly get to familiar with your name and who you are. And then down the line, we're going to have a conversation with them and build that relationship. So this isn't going to be one of those fast strategies where you implement it today and start getting leads overnight. This is a longer term play, but it works really well because if you have just a few partners from this alone, they're going to be supplying you with work weekly on a consistent basis. So that's basically the LinkedIn approach and how you would go about connecting with people. Again, this strategy isn't overnight, but if you do it and you do it consistently, then it's going to pay off in the long run. And then we have Google My Business. So same thing as with LinkedIn, before you start anything, you want your profile completely set up and optimized. So, have your logo, have your branding, have a description about your company, use keywords, have your services listed, have your business hours, your contact info, your website, have everything completely built out. And then start posting as well. So same thing as LinkedIn, start posting just so you have some content up. You can do before and after pictures, videos, again, value-based posts if you want to. The cool thing about this is the content used on Google My Business, you can use on LinkedIn, you can use on Instagram, Facebook, you can recycle it everywhere. So you use it for one thing, but in reality, you can use it for a whole bunch of platforms and it makes things way easier. So get the profile set up, start posting, try to post for 3 to 5 times per week. That's what we aim for. In the beginning, it might be tough for you, especially if you're doing things on your own. Eventually, you should outsource this and have someone managing this for you. But in the beginning, try to do it on your own and try to post frequently. That way, Google will see that you are an active business. You are consistently posting, you're actively posting. They see you're an active business and that looks really good to Google. And then once you have the posts going up, start getting reviews. So after every single job, like I mentioned earlier, leverage every job you get. Reviews is a big part of that. After every job you do, ask for a review, ask multiple times, follow up with them, have some type of incentive too. So we have, we will give away, $50 off their next service or $25 back from this service. Whatever you want to do, just have some type of incentive to get them to leave you a review. Even send them a text with the link, make it as easy as possible for them to leave you a review. You can even send them a pre-made message of an example of review. Some people literally just copy that, use that same exact message. Doesn't matter. Just get as many reviews as possible consistently after every job. And what Google's going to see, they're going to see a business that's consistently posting, consistently getting positive reviews, positive feedback. They're going to see that you're a real business, you're a growing business with happy customers, and you're going to start ranking higher organically. So again, like what we just went over, it's not an overnight strategy. It does take some time and it takes consistency, but eventually you'll get to the point where you're getting calls every single day, multiple calls even every day, because people are searching for the service. You rank high for that keyword. they're seeing your profile, they see you have a lot of reviews, they see your well built out Google My Business page, they're going to reach out to you and you're going to start getting jobs from them. So again, biggest thing here is just consistency, because it's not going to happen overnight. Like if you start doing this today, I promise you, you're not going to start getting calls, next week or a few weeks from now. It's going to take a bit longer, but as long as you start it now and be consistent with it, you're gonna get a ton of work from this in the long run. And that's all the strategies we got for you guys. We have some bonus tips too. So first and foremost is just start building your SMS email list. A lot of people neglect this. I can't tell you guys the amount of times where I had a client come to me saying, oh, I have 300 plus customers that I serviced in the past, but they're all written down on pen and paper. And then they have to go spend weeks transferring that information onto a spreadsheet for us to use. So if you're in the early stages, start this right now because it's a good habit to form. Keep all of your information, so your emails, your phone numbers, the names, the addresses, keep all that information. If you don't have a CRM, just use a spreadsheet. That's fine. Just keep it somewhere digitally. That way, in the future, you can set up mass text, mass emails to them, get them to rebook with you. Maybe you offer a new service at a different time of year. If you have their contact info, send out mass text to them to get them to rebook with that new service. Just form that habit now, because you don't want the headache in the future. And if you consistently do this year after year, you're going to get a lot of repeat customers.
Absolutely. One of my favorite strategies is actually offering free demos, try to help close more jobs, right? And I think it'd probably be easier if I'll give you guys a real example of this on how I've leveraged this to help my business. So after my year one, I actually had this township reach out to me, and they were looking for me to quote about 2.5 miles of streetscape to be pressure washed, right? So at that time, I had no idea how I was going to go ahead and just price out 2.5 miles to pressure wash. And so what I went and did was I told them that we'll go ahead and come out and take care of a portion of those 2.5 square miles. At the time, I said I would do 2 blocks. If they like the results in those 2 blocks, awesome. We'll continue with the rest of the work. If they don't, again, no problem. We'll pack everything up and we'll be on our way. But what this allowed me to do was not only get my foot through the door, right? But it also allowed me to now formulate an accurate price for the entire project, right? So I did 2 blocks, and I was able to then calculate how long that took me, and then start coming to the conclusion of what number makes sense for our business to be profitable with that particular project. So by offering a free demo, it works wonders in so many different ways, get your foot through the door, and also allows you to have a much better idea of how you would price a much bigger project. So I actually like using this tip for commercial in particular, but you could definitely give it a go for residential as well. There's always smaller demos that you can provide for any client that will allow you to get your foot through the door and help you close a lot more.
Yep. And then number 3, we have answer your phone. So this is an obvious one. You would think it's an obvious one, but so many people just don't do it. Last year, we actually ran a test on this to get some data on it. And we called over 100 people, and less than 1/3 of those people answered the initial call. So of 100 people, less than 30 people answered the phone. So you have to think from the perspective of the homeowner. They're probably scrolling through Google or wherever else they're calling your number because they want this service. And if you don't answer, they're just going back to scrolling, calling the next business, and you just lost their business. So that could be every phone call you miss could cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Could cost you Google reviews, content, like a number of things, just because you didn't answer that one call. So answer your phone. If you are out on a job, you're the one still doing the job, you can't answer your phone at all times, then have someone that can, whether that's, a significant other, an assistant or something like that. Just have someone answering the phone. And if you're not in a position where you can afford that yet, or you just don't have that luxury yet, I get it, but you need to make a habit of answering the phone. So if you're always out on a job, you just don't pay attention to your phone, pay attention to your phone, answer every call, because it could be a lot of money you're leaving on the table by not answering those calls.
Yeah, definitely. Pricing strategy. Look, guys, I still don't really understand how this is a bonus tip. This right here is huge. What the pricing strategy is I actually call it the 3-tier pricing strategy. As opposed to most of the guys in the industry go out, do an estimate, and just give the lead one price, you're gonna wanna build out 3 different pricing packages for that one project. So to give you guys an example, let's say you guys get a call to price out a house wash, right? What I'll go ahead and do is I will have the price for the house wash as the basic package, right? Price out the house as I normally would, but then I'll also have we can call it a deluxe package, where it'll be the entire house wash and the front walkway, right? Or you can call it the curb appeal package, whatever you guys want. Get creative with it. And then I'll have the premium package, which will be all of the services that we deem viable, that we can provide for that particular project, right? And what this will allow you to do is play kind of like a subtle psychological mind games, where as opposed to it just being a yes or no, is now it's more so, okay, which one of these 3 packages makes the most sense for me, right? And so you'll notice that it'll allow you to actually close at a higher rate, but not only that, close at a higher ticket, because you're going to start closing jobs and adding on more services where you otherwise wouldn't. And not only that, but subconsciously, this now allows you to educate your client on the other services that your business provides, very subtly, without sounding real salesy, real pushy. Oh yeah, we offer gutter cleaning too. Oh yeah, we could do this. It works in so many different aspects. And so that's why every single job that I quote, I'm implementing the 3-tier pricing package. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and that one pricing strategy is a huge bonus, because that alone is going to double your average job value and double your close rate. Because even the people that don't go for those higher ticket options, they're going to go for the lower one. So you're going to get way more jobs because of it, and you're going to get higher, value jobs as well. Which leads into number 5, which is just increase your prices. A lot of you guys are scared to increase your prices because you think you're going to lose out on customers. And yes, you probably will lose out on some customers. But the reality of it is, let's say, you double your prices and you lose half of your customers, you're still making the same amount of money, but now you have a lot less work and a lot higher profit margins. So that extra time you can use for door knocking, more marketing. You can use that extra time to grow your business. But if you keep your pricing the same, then you don't have much room for negotiation. Whereas if you double your pricing and it doesn't work for them, you can negotiate your way down. But if you're already at that lowest point, there's no negotiating at that point. So it's going to make closing jobs a lot harder. Not to mention, again, another psychological play. They see, option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 200, 225, 250. They're all around the same mark. And then bam, you're 400, 450. Now they're going to be thinking, well, damn, like if they're that much more expensive, I can only imagine how much higher quality their service is. And if everything about your business aligns with that, your social media looks good, website looks good, the way you speak to your customers is great, then that price will be justifiable, and they'll move forward even though you're the most expensive option. So I know a lot of guys complain that they just can't charge more in their area, their market sucks. It's not true. Your business doesn't look professional enough to charge those prices, and maybe you're just too scared to ask for those prices in the first place. So make sure everything is set up well, make sure your business looks good, but increase your prices. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work for them and you lower your price. You negotiate with them. And quick tip before we move on from that, if you are going to negotiate your prices, which I see no problem with, I think some people's approach is the problem, because it comes off like you're desperate, like you'll take anything just to get the job. Whereas if you negotiate in an equal value trade, now it doesn't look bad. So if you're saying, listen, I'll give you $50 off, but after we do this amazing job from you, we're going to need an amazing Google review from you. So now it's an equal value trade, and they're going to have no problem with that. And it makes sense. Whereas if you're like, all right, fine, I'll take $50 off. Like, does that work for you? Like, you sound desperate. So Don't be afraid to negotiate, but make sure you're getting an equal value trade from it. And then we have leverage. So a different type of leverage than what I was mentioning earlier, but basically leveraging, your resource. So whether it's time or money, use what you have the most leverage of. So right now, you guys are on this free marketing strategies masterclass. I assume your money is not the biggest leverage you have right now. It's probably time. So leverage your time. If you have the time to door knock all day, as from sun up to sundown, door knock. Go in Facebook groups, connect with people, network, use your time to your advantage, because one day you won't have the time. So use it now, and slowly you're going to start getting more work, more revenue, and that money is going to build up. And then you can start leveraging your money. So now you can, do paid advertising. You can hire people, outsource some of these strategies. So you don't need to use your own time. You can leverage other people's time, but you can only do that with the money. So if you have the money to leverage, by all means, do it. But I'm assuming at this point, most of you guys have time to leverage. So leverage it to the most that you can.
Number 7, we have job source tracking. So job source tracking is crucial for a successful business. This is pretty much just finding out where all of your leads are coming from. As you guys grow, you guys are going to have a lot of different avenues in which leads are coming from. Now, a successful business tracks every single avenue in which leads are coming from, so that they could gather those analytics and see, okay, most of my jobs are coming from here. We should double down on this. We're not getting a lot of leads coming in from here. Maybe we should start doing less of it, or switch some things in that particular avenue. But it's important to know exactly where the leads are coming from, so that you could move the business in the direction where it will push the needle to where you want to. So knowing where the leads are coming from, crucial for a successful business.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you don't know your data, then you're going to make emotional based decisions, and they're probably going to be the wrong decisions. Whereas if you actually know your numbers, you know what's working, what's not working, then you can make logical based decisions that'll actually help grow your business way quicker, save you money, save your time. It makes things way better. And quick tip on that, it's pretty simple to track a lot of digital leads, but sometimes you don't know where you're getting a call from. It gets messy. Don't be afraid to just ask, like, oh, by the way, how did you come across us? And then they'll say where they found you. Sometimes they forget, but they'll probably say where they found you. You write it down, and boom, just keep it saved. But then number 8, and I think this is definitely one of the biggest tips for today, is just mentorship. The most successful people in the world all have mentors. They all have coaches. You look at someone like Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time. He had a coach. So everyone needs a mentor. Even the most successful business owners, they have mentors. So if you want to get to that level, or at least where you're trying to go, you need a mentor. You need someone that was in your shoes before and knows how to get to where you're trying to go. So they can help you. They can help you avoid mistakes, save money, save time, and just progress quicker. So whether that's, there's a lot of guys in Facebook groups that are maybe, you have someone local to you, a local business owner that's doing well, ask him to mentor you. Maybe you have, some guys that you're friends with from local Facebook groups, or even, the pressure washing Facebook groups. There's a lot of great guys out there that are more than welcome to, give you some pointers and help you out. Just connect with people and learn from them. Even we have a coaching program. Like we primarily do lead generation, but we do coaching to make sure that, we know how it works when leads come in, but Facebook ads is a different type of lead. So we coach them on the best strategies to actually get the most of it. Just leverage coaching and mentorship, and you're going to grow so much quicker.
Yeah, Michael, I couldn't agree more. Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
All right. But yeah, guys, so those are all the strategies we got for you guys. Those are the bonus tips. I hope this was very helpful to you guys.